friends, I'm back with some lovely, truly lovely Dawnbreaker key. Plus 12. My first plus 12 actually, timed. I'm hyped. You are hyped. We are all hyped. Let's go. First pull, pretty standard. All of this together. Use all your stuff before your breath and pillar window. Press the damage macro, press the pot. Put down death and decay, just start spamming those rune spenders. Rhyme procs, killing machine procs, otherwise just obliterates, remorseless winters. We just go for it. You can see here going up to 8 million DPS, pretty much holding 8 million DPS. Of course now with all the mobs down, just one remaining, it will fall off a bit. Group composition here, very nice for Frost Decay. We have a DH tank, and as a Frost Decay we actually deal a lot of magic damage. When you check the damage distribution in the end, a lot of frost damage. At the same time the Wind Fury from the Shaman, insane, because we have a lot of synergy with our melee hits. We have the Frost Shield, we also have the explosion when we crit with our melee hits, so really nice. And then of course Evoker, so augmentation, always very good. The CDs align pretty well with our breath windows, and also the crit buff. It's just nice, because it's our most favorable stat, so we like to stack crit. Then of course Heal Druid, Versa buff. So pretty nice group for the DK. For the first groups, not much to kick. Just kick the AoE that also shields, so the Howl. Otherwise kick as much as possible and just go in there. Always be careful here with the ships. They still did not fix it, sometimes you bug through it. So always wait until you're really on solid ground to then use your stuff. The timing is pretty nice for the first part of the dungeon. You can see here the breath is ready again, so we immediately go for it. Again, kick as much as possible. When the big spider targets you with the spell, so not the web bolt but the next one, you can pre-AMS it, so you don't get it here. I was too late, I was sleeping. I think I will do it on the next ship, but yeah, if you use your AMS before that, you don't get the big circle. Of course, not a big problem here. Also, the enhancement. Yo, voice. Come back. Enhancement, pretty strong melee DPS at the moment. Maybe even the strongest. But Frost Decay, still a 4 plus. I would say still one of the, if not the most tanky DPS, which is very nice, comes in very handy when running plus 12, because the mechanics, the debuffs, the bosses, everything is just hitting like a truck. I mean, it's not like for the last 1.5 weeks I did not upload anything. It's not like I was not playing. I was pugging, I was tweaking a bit with my Shaman, but I was also pugging plus 12s, and it was a shit show. Here, pre-AMS, no debuff, very nice. Like I was basically in M plus hell. I was close to quitting, and I'm not even kidding. Like, pugging so horrible. The system that Blizzard designed with zero incentive to finish a key, so many levers, so much pressure on the tanks with all the damage. They are just getting demolished. Like usually when I have a plus 12 key in my bag and we are going for it, first pull, tank dies, leaves, that's it. Honestly, 90% of the plus 12 keys I was running ended like this. But yeah, I don't know about your experience. Definitely let me know in the comments. Maybe it's different for other key ranges, but yeah. So, boss fight, nothing special as a melee. The rifts from the collapsing, whatever it's called, ability. The ranged get this. You just stay at the boss and you just keep on blasting. everything you have, not a problem. In general, when the breath is running, try to utilize your AMS. Even if there's not that much damage coming in, if there's some damage coming in, you get this converted into runic power. Ooh, this was not optimal. And so it helps maintain the breath, which of course helps with a good old DPS, which is what we are all here for, I would say. Have to drink something. Ah, very nice. Yeah, so in general, Frosty K plus. I still enjoy it. Has some problems like outside burst windows with the resource generation, I would say. So coming out of the breath window, and basically all your runes and your runic power are depleted. I sometimes find myself really not pressing anything for 4 to 5 seconds at least, because I'm so drained, and without any procs to get some runes back, I'm just sitting there in this resource starved hole. But yeah, usually then Reaper's Mark and Pillar are back up, so it's fine. Your second breath window. Ooh, this is a tight one. Come on, go to the breath. Yes, AMS. Whoa. Oh, that was really close. This could already been the key if we would have wiped there. Very close. Unfortunately, Shaman died during Ascendance, so this is hurting his boss damage, of course, and of course his overall damage. So always be careful here with the beam hitbox. It is quite fair, I would say. Like there are some mechanics which are really bad regarding hitbox versus the graphical design of the ability. But since everything is so purple here, and as a Frosty K, I sometimes have problems to see what is going on, because everything around me is just like in this blue, cloudy ice, whatever stuff, and then somewhere underneath is like this small puddle that unfortunately in plus 12 just is the equivalent of an atomic bomb and just overkills you with 10 million damage or something. So yeah, legit. Here are several approaches regarding the route. Some go in from the back, some go in from the front. That's what she said. But in this case we just went in from the front. I'm fine either way. The CDs of Frosty K pretty nice here. 20 seconds until the next burst window. Always here, very nice. Use your grabs. You can really support the tank. Pretty large pull. 7 seconds until breath. Kick as much as possible. Dodge the swirlies. Be careful of the frontal. The hitboxes of the frontal are a little bit weird. So if you are very close to the mob, which can happen as a Frosty case since our melee range is pretty shitty, you can actually get hit by the frontal when you're standing behind the mob, of course. So this is some peak Blizzard design logic, whatever, that the frontal starts in and behind the mob. But yeah, when you know it, I guess it's fine. Again here, what was it, 5-6 million DPS. Not a problem with an Aug. Really boosting our damage here. Dance, dance. Yeah, dodge the hail, of course. Easy to see. 2 of them can be quite taxing for the healer. You will see, I think, in a few seconds, when they are both starting their AoE. And yeah, use a defensive and have your death strike ready, I would say. Yeah, in 3 seconds. 2, 1, after this, and now. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Yeah, actually used the pot there because I think I had no Runic power for Death Strike. And of course the pot is instant. Death Strike has some minor animation. Although it's not that bad. Like, I don't have the feeling that I die very often because my Death Strike didn't go through or something like this. Usually it's pretty instant. So I'm not gonna complain about that skill. If you ask me, still the most OP spell for the DK. Like, this is the real carry for N+. Because it's about not dying, and Death Strike is just masterclass. Like, master skill for not dying. You know what I mean? Here, nasty debuff. Really nasty. The good thing, as a DK, we can pre-AMS it. So the moment we see this guy targeting us with the Abyssal Blast, there we go, AMS. Ta-da! No debuff. Get owned. Noob. So yeah, that's really nice for the healer. You can see the next one goes on the Shaman, if I remember correctly. Oh no. Again, the healer. Ah, there you can also see there I'm a bit resource starved. So even though I have the procs, I cannot really use it. Like here. I cannot press anything. I don't have a filler. Feels sometimes a bit weird. Like, how a class that in principle feels so good in most instances and is so strong can feel so stat starved in the desert, let's say. Yeah, here 2 times on the Shaman back to back, so throw an AMZ for the poor guy. But yeah, Shaman got a bit tankier. They got some nice totem with a shield. Like in comparison to last expansion, where they were really squishy. Like running the tank versatility trinket with shield from Firak, I think in high keys, to even survive. Now we're going to the market, because we want to utilize Bloodlust for this guy. Pretty dangerous here. Usually see a lot of groups fail pulling in this market area, and usually tanks choking, trying to pull too much. That's also stuff I see very often, that tanks then get kind of overconfident, and I don't know why. When you're pretty solid on the timer and you're just cruising through, and suddenly they are like, they get some MDI tick or whatever, and they think it's time for the whole market, because why not? Yeah, here, same burst window, Bloodlust, Aug is going in. Ah, this is so bad. Oh, you can see one Death Strike basically full. I was hesitant. Hesitant, is that even the right word? I was not sure on whether to press it, because if I would not have had the proc for the Death Strike, this would have cancelled my breath. And you can see in this case it's still running. Now it's not. So that's the only negative for Death Strike, when you're in your breath window, and I'm just greedy. I admit it, I'm just greedy. So for these groups, try to use as much AoE stance interrupt as possible. Try to kick the channel. You can also do that with your grips, which is very nice. I think I did this. Yep, there again. Otherwise, the kicks, the whole, I don't know, kick handling at the moment, the changes from Blizzard, still not a fan of it, where you basically only synchronize the casts of the mobs with an AoE interrupt, because all of them, they don't skip casts anymore, they just all start casting immediately the same ability. So what you have done then, basically you synchronize them and risk your tank or the group getting nuked by it if you don't then coordinate some kicks. So very park unfriendly, like extremely. Yeah, be careful of the frontals. Nice AoE damage. I should have kept my AMS for my breath window, because again, can really help maintain the breath because of the runic power you get back. And there, yeah, this would have been some juicy runic power, and otherwise I even have to think about using my Death Strike. but apparently I did not. So Breath still running. Oh, look at the prio damage. The big guy even going down before the smaller guys. That's really nice. Because that's usually the time limiting factors for the groups, the biggest guys. That's why it's nice to have some prio damage dealers, which I think enhancement is as well. With their, what is it called, like the Tempest ability from the Lightning Bolt after they used 300 Maelstrom or something. Yeah, I'm deep into the Shaman knowledge because I just played one last week. Otherwise my general knowledge about classes is pretty mediocre, I would say. If I played this class for some times, I know a little bit. Otherwise, I would say I'm pretty okay with my DK. That's all I need. This boss, so the next one, also a pack killer. I don't know what it is with this boss. It has a few mechanics that if you play them cleanly... Oh, 1 second. Yeah, big dragon at the end of the pillar window. You can see under my health bar, I'm tracking my strength. And also like when I'm above 100k or something, it turns blue. So basically I know it's a dragon worth sending. Would that strike? Yes. Breath is ready, but I am waiting for my pillar and my reaper. So it's sitting there for a few seconds. Okay, I will not use it. I think I will use it for the boss, and I will cast the worst AMS I did in a long time. But you will see that. This was a very newbie AMS from me. I don't know if I can look at it. Maybe I will skip that part. Let me just cut it out. Nah. I would not do that to you. As long as you learn from your mistakes, it's fine, I guess. Yeah, here depending on the tank, they also tank him different positions, go to different sides. This case, you can easily bait the orb in the middle here. It's not stopped by the well in the middle, so it's not a problem. Of course, the further the orb travels, the less damage it deals, but you can see even after traveling pretty far, the damage is not insignificant. Here I should have used my AMS, because my breath would still be running. And what am I doing? I'm using the AMS after. Look at this, there's no damage coming in. Like 4 million AMS shield just wasted. And I could have had my breath running also through these ads, probably. So, huge damage loss. And I am embarrassed that you had to see this. I'm honest. Otherwise, always try to use some minor defensive CDs. Have some runic power ready for Death Strike. There we go. When you're Half-Life, just use it and you will basically never die from these periodic damages. This, I think the 4th orb is a bad overlap. So definitely have a big CD ready for that. Otherwise for the ads, try to CC them, maybe kick a bit, and just keep them down. Always focus on the boss, of course, because this is the guy that has to die. There we go, that was the overlap. Orb immediately going in the first tick of the AoE. Nearly one-shot the group. Like at least the more squishy guys. DK is still just walking block of titanium. I mean, I literally have 0% versatility. Or, okay, in this case, of course not, because of the druid, but basically from my gear, I think it's 1-ish. At least the last time I checked. I don't think I changed something. AoE again, AMS. and immediately go into the breath window. That's fine. Ooh, okay, nice. No death strike needed. Fortunately, enhancer going down. 2 deaths so far. Very clinky. And usually when this boss is down, it's very hard to fuck it up. Not impossible. When I look back into my last 1.5 weeks trying to pack some 12s, definitely not impossible. Like, I've seen 3k Raid IO score people kill the wrong ad in Mist of Tirna's Skid or Scythe or whatever it's pronounced. Like during the second boss intermission. At some point I was not even sure if I'm the reason I'm not timing the keys, or if I'm just incredibly unlucky. Like incredibly. Whoo. Okay, never mind. This guy, last small barrier, I would say. Because if you don't kill him quick enough, or the ads quick enough, they really start to accumulate. And this gets quite uncomfortable. Here, defensive. Ooh, big damage. But bigger death strike. Big damage, bigger death strike. We love it. Hold the Abolymp for the first ads, of course. Use them as soon as they spawn, but always prio the Architect. Come on, where's the Abolymp? Was even unnecessary. They were already very close after the first grab. I should have kept them for the next ads. I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. Using my CDs again, since the first part of the Rashanan fight is not really a damage fight. Using my last pot for this key. Oh no, okay, yeah, losing. Using health pot. I was afraid I just used my... I'm not sure if the breath was even worth it to be honest. Still running. Yeah, but the first part of the fight, really not a damage part. Had to refresh my oils. After refreshing one, I usually take off the weapon I just refreshed it on, since I had this way too many times that for some reason both oils were used on the same weapon. I don't know why, but at the moment they are too expensive for that. Or I'm just too poor. You can block the debuff and the stun with AMS here, pretty nice. But be very careful, don't pre-AMS anything here. I'm not sure if they fixed it, probably not. Oh, Death Strike, there we go. Again, me, not a problem. Another Death Strike, another Death Strike, another Death Strike, yep. Because when you pre-AMS something in this fight, for example this wave, or this web debuff that spawns the big area in the second phase, it looks like you pre-AMS the debuff, so no one has it, but in reality you have it, and then the wave spawns. And you potentially wipe the group with it, because you don't expect it when you are standing in the middle of the group. And I speak from experience here. Happened a few times. So in this case, no proactive AMSs, just reactive AMSs. That sounds very smart. And yes, I am very... Okay, no. Yeah, you can just fly here every time. Pick up an orb on the way under the bridge, then just fly here. And you can stand next to the fires, you're safe, and then you just have to wait for, I think it's 25 seconds until the big guy appears. Everything up, Bloodlust. Again, same damage rotation. Try to maintain the breath. MS, yes, for some extra runic power. Nice. Okay, here, playing it a bit greedy. Defensive CD, not going away too far, because I don't want my breath to end. But would not be the first time for me to actually fall down there. Like next to the stairs. But luckily you don't die there. You can just walk back up. But yeah. Yeah. Plus 12s, I definitely recommend picking up the AMZ to support the healer, because the heal checks and the AoE, it gets pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. Like, again, not a problem, mobile, AMS it, literally 0 damage. That just, I mean, even on plus 12, AMS is just huge. It is huge. And just on a, what is it, 40-second cooldown, 45? Which in most cases, also for some raids, raid bosses, just perfectly aligns. Okay, again, now no defensive. I think I will pot. Do I pot? Do I death strike? I death strike. Okay. Keep in mind, death strike is only healing you this much when you take a lot of damage beforehand. So if you get some heal absorb, but you're basically full life from a mechanic and you press death strike, it's not doing anything. So death strike is something also always as a reaction. You get a lot of damage, you heal a lot with death strike. Don't just press. Oh, Shaman got one shot there. Oh, don't take it. Now take it. Okay. Oh, at this point I just want this boss to die. It's so unsatisfying seeing his life basically not going down. It's just sitting there at the 60.87. Waiting for my stuff to come back up. Reaver's Mark. 60 runic power, it's fine. And go in with the breath. AMS. Yeah. Always make sure to at least have 60, better 70 runic power when going into the breath window. Otherwise, it can happen that the runic power is draining so fast that after 2 seconds the breath is gone. And this is really bad. Because overall damage also strongly dependent on our breath and pillar windows. And there it is! Plus 12! Finally! My first of many to come, I would say. No, I have no clue. But I needed that. At some point I thought I was going crazy. Packing these. Like, not a joke. 2 million overall. Pretty solid. But of course, having an Aug in the group. But still, I guess. Whew. Yeah, otherwise. You can see the talents. You can see the gear. Pretty geared right now, I think. 600, come on, open it. Yeah, 629. 2 embellishments. Weapon and boots. Still not the best trinkets, I would say. I would love to replace the Skamrock shard for this trinket from, I think it's Grimbatol, like this hammer, which increases mastery even more, which is better for the burst windows. But yeah, otherwise pretty gear stuck at the moment. I'm lacking the emblems at the cap, healing, AMS, and you can see the frost shield, how high it is. That is due to the Wind Fury. Most damage obliterate shows there are usually 2 to 3 mobs there, otherwise the more icy damage skills would be at the top. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.